Tor, how are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. How are you?
Very good. Nice to meet you. Going all the way back, where did music start for you in your life?
It started really early on. I was really lucky in that my dad brought myself and my brother up as a single parent, and he was a music teacher at the local school, and so music was just this free thing that we knew because we had an upright piano in the house that was slightly out of tune because we got it secondhand, and we had my dad's old guitars around the house and things like he'd borrow little percussion things from the school, and the music was just this fun thing that was available to plink and plonk away at. And I attribute that to my entire career now, because there was no real professional lessons. There was no moment of you'll learn music. It was just around, and that's a really rich place. And I don't I know that if you don't have that, music seems like this thing you have to go and pay for and find out about. And it was just in my world, and that I feel very lucky for.
So what was he listening to?
As a child, like as a kid, or like I think like most kids, it's kind of a mix of your parents' music collection. So my dad was really into like the Stranglers and like the punk movement, and then also really into like soft Americana, like James Taylor, or like any great American songbook like Tom Petty. And Alice Cooper was a big influence on, my dad was always playing Alice Cooper songs. And I think we went to see him actually at some point, like for like 16th birthday. I think I went to go see Alice Cooper play somewhere, and like the hooks that he has, but the theater that he has, and all this stuff just like seeps in from a really early age. And it's really vast though, because then sort of as a teenager onwards, then you sort of get into your own music and you discover, different songwriters, and you go through your Radiohead stage, and then you go through, like your little indie band down the road stage, and I got really into folk music and traditional music. I am a music fan. I just like music, and I'm really not picky about what it is if it moves me. I really like Ludovico Einaudi, a classical pianist. I also really like some ambient music and some drone music. I really don't care what it is. If something moves me, I'll be into it.
Yeah, I'm the same. So
Cool.
how have your listening experiences changed since you started making your own music, if they have?
Yeah, I mean, I think they have, in that they're hopefully just a little bit broader. I try not to listen to any radio stations that I'm on or any sort of modern music. I try and stay away from. I don't really want to know what other people are doing right now. I'm interested, like 80s music I'm really into. Like I grew up in the 90s, so I missed 80s music really. And so that to me is a kind of all new to discover. And I really like that. Like I would listen to 80s stations in my flat. And yeah, I just kind of like, my influences now are kind of just broader. I'm interested in the weird and wonderful, because I think that informs you ultimately. If you look at something really weird and extreme and wonderful, and a tiny bit of that seeps into your work, yeah, that intrigues me as a writer.
Amazing. So I've seen clips of you playing live. Obviously, I haven't seen you play live yet. You haven't been over to Canada yet, I don't think.
No, not yet.
Solo artists sometimes struggle to fill a stage. I don't feel like you have that problem. It's a very expressive. There's a lot of movement involved in your performance. What's a perfect gig for you? When you come off stage, what makes you think that couldn't have gone any better?
A perfect gig is kind of just like, it can be any size stage and it can be any size audience. If it just feels like I like to just really like envelope in the songs, and nothing's premeditated, then nothing is over rehearsed. I just know it, and I just really want to lean into all the emotions of it, be that like this a sporadic burst or a bit of manic energy, or some things on Cacti are deeply sad, and I just try and a performance, I think I just try and lean into the extremes of it all. So I think, yeah, a perfect gig, what makes a perfect gig? People that just kind of want to come with you, people that really want to lean into it the same as you. That feels really perfect to me, because if you want to come with me, I will take it there. And so, yeah, sometimes you can feel when an audience wants to really respond to that, and you can feel when they don't. And it's an interesting thing, and you just have to navigate that as an artist and decide to get in it anyway.
So what's your plans for 2023 now? Are you taking it out on the road? How far are you going?
Yeah, so I'm across Europe for most of March, and then UK for April, and Ireland. And then we just announced some states for May. I don't know if Canada is on there. I think there's a potential Canadian date. I'm not sure. But we are announcing some states stuff tomorrow. And then from there, we're just an open book of festivals really across the UK and Europe. And beyond, we just see what happens. I'm very open. I'm a very open book, and I'm ready to take Cacti out wherever we can go. So it'll just be I think it will be quite a year of being out and about with it, and giving this record the best possible chance it can have, which I'm excited for. I haven't had the chance to do that with any of my records yet. So it'll be interesting to go and live that sort of in a real time. So.
Okay, 2 quick last questions. They're kind of connected. When somebody gets to the end of your album, Cacti,
yeah,
how do you want them to feel?
It's a really good question. I want them to feel like somebody else has understood and been in the darkness of it with them. Like I have a song that finishes the album called Blackout Signal, and I wouldn't say it's a particularly hopeful song, but it does kind of empathize and sympathize with the listener, I hope. I don't know. It's a really good question. I don't know if Cacti is hopeful or if it's just saying, I just survived it. I'm not necessarily saying I survived it triumphantly. I just did. And I hope maybe that gives somebody else some strength somewhere to survive whatever they're going through. That would be nice.
Okay. So on that thought, I want you to suggest one album that people could put on after they've listened to your album.
Oh, okay. After they'd listened to my album.
It can be anything from any period of music.
Do you know what's on where my album is on my phone, what comes after it on my phone, and I don't know if I don't know if it's a fault or not, but this is what I'm used to listening to, is My Bloody Valentine, the song that has Blown a Wish on it. I can't remember what it's called, but that album comes on after it on my phone, and I'm used to hearing that, and it really makes sense to me. Okay. Yeah.
Perfect.
Cool.
Well, thank you very much for your time. It's been a real treat talking to you.
You're welcome.
And I hope you make it over to Montreal at some point. But I just wish you all the best with it, and have a great 2023.
Thank you very much. Have a brilliant day.